Hi, how are you, Sue?
Hi, how are you? I'm
I
good.
am tired.
Yeah. Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
God. I went to my granddaughter's ball game last night, and it took so much out of me. Mm,
Right,
Anyway, it was
right.
fun. And she didn't know I was coming because I had told her I wasn't going to come. Hi, Grace. I hadn't told
Yeah,
her that I was going to come. I told her I wasn't going to come. And then she was already at the school and stuff, and I told Carolyn, I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna surprise her." So we had a good time, though. We had a good
that's
time,
good.
it was only like a what do you call it? A jamboree game, so it wasn't a
All
counting
right.
game. But
Just a sec. Let me,
they
I'm going
beat
to
them
mute you for a sec.
27. Okay.
I'm going to mute
Anyway,
me for a sec.
okay. They won the ball game 27-0. So I was impressed. Hi, Sheil. Hi, Sheil. How are you? Um, so, whew, Lord, what's everybody been doing this weekend? I know one thing, it was hot as here today. Like it was like 94 degrees and humid. We've been under a heat advisory for like 6 days now. So, is everybody else experiencing extremely hot weather? Um, it's been really, really hot. And like when you go outside, you can't hardly breathe. It's horrible. So, you just have to go from the air conditioned house and get to the air conditioned car as quickly as you can, and you still work up a big sweat. So, um, thought we would, you're having chickpeas for supper. Everyone else is having pizza. I'm trying to eat better when I can. So, you're just eating peas? Sheil? Man, we had pizza too. Well, me and Brian had pizza. Carolyn and Anna are both gone. So, but all you're eating for supper is peas? Man, I'd eat me. I'd have had some cornbread. I don't even know what a chickpea is though. So,
Okay, I'm
um,
back.
okay. Um, did you check your blood pressure?
No, my husband wanted to know what it was. So I
Oh,
said, I'll
okay.
take it again in a little bit. It's kind
Yeah,
of high. Because I
yeah,
just went to the cardiologist and it was been running like 130, between 130, 134.
yeah.
And that's good. So that's what it was when we went, and then now it was 164.
Yes.
You feeling
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
You feeling okay?
Yeah,
Just check
Oh,
it again in a
bless it.
little bit.
yeah, but I feel fine. I
Right.
feel
Yeah,
okay. So I don't know. I'll just have to check it again.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But you do feel okay, right?
yeah, I feel fine. I don't
Uh,
feel like anything's going on or anything. So
yeah. I know when my pressure first started giving me trouble,
uh
um,
huh,
and I would check it just because my face was feeling flushed,
uh
and it
huh,
would be so high, but I would feel fine, you know?
yeah,
Like, I'm like, why do I even have to worry about this? But then when I went to the doctor with it and it was like 205 over 175,
oh my
man,
gosh.
yeah, they started freaking out and immediately went and got a shot and gave me this shot. And I mean, it was crazy. So,
Yeah, mine was. I think it was when it right after I had the stroke. Mine was 199.
oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
It's rough, it's really rough. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so I just thought we'd have a chill and a chat session, um, tonight. I've got several things that, I'd like to talk to y'all about. But nothing, well, I don't know. I can't really say nothing that's gonna, because anytime you talk about politics, it gets kind of, crazy, but, um, we'll talk about that later. Um, the first thing that I had been looking into this week was, of course, I guess everybody has heard of the arrests that have been made, uh, relating to the death of Friends star Matthew Perry, right? Um, So I didn't even know they were doing an investigation or that they had any cause to do an investigation. But obviously they did. They've been doing it because he died in October of last year. So
Right.
it has been due to ketamine, I guess is how you say it.
Yeah.
Um, I guess ketamine overdose. And, they found him. Um, I will, Sheil. I'll send you my hate.
Yeah. I'll send some too.
Yeah.
Immediately also.
They found him, face down in the pool or the
Right.
hot tub. The hot tub. Um, I guess 2 days ago they came out and there's been 5 arrests made. Two of them
Wow.
being doctors. Um, and then this lady that they're referring to as the ketamine queen that actually sold him um, the final doses of this drug that he took. Now, obviously, he had fallen back into a possible, I guess, addiction because he had been taking like huge amounts of this drug. And I don't even, I mean, apparently this drug has been used for. First, it was used on animals as like I guess painkillers and tranquilizers, and then when they brought it, for humans, it was used for like to help put you to sleep and stuff. So kind of sort of I guess related to the propofol, that actually killed Michael Jackson along that same line.
Right.
Um, yeah, his assistant was his live-in assistant was actually the one that had been injecting him with this drug. He was buying it in these vials, and it's I guess maybe that's the only way you can take it is injectables. I don't know. Hey,
Huh.
Moby, I'm so glad to see you. Um, yeah, they had been injecting him, but I have got um part of the. I got a brief prep. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. Okay, Sheil. Um, I'm going to share the screen and pray that I don't get a copyright strike, which I will pause it and stuff. So, um, this was a press conference, I guess it was made a couple days ago. So, let me share the screen and we'll review this and talk about it. Let me know when you can see that, Sue.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. All right, here we go. And like I said, it's 19 minutes and we won't, I mean, that's a long thing. So we'll just go over part of it. And I'm going to, of course, like I said, stop and pause it or I'll speed it up or something.
We are coming on the air here with breaking news in the death of actor Matthew Perry. Our NBC4i team has learned of at least one arrest in connection with his overdose.
The Justice Department is holding a press conference right now. Let's listen in.
Related to the death of the actor Matthew Perry. Following Mr. Perry's death in October of last year, law enforcement, my office, and our partners represented on this stage began an in-depth, wide-ranging investigation. That investigation has revealed a broad, underground criminal network responsible for distributing large quantities of ketamine to Mr. Perry and others. This network included a live-in assistant, various go-betweens, 2 medical doctors, and a major source of drug supply known as, quote, the ketamine queen. We charged 5 defendants in this matter. These defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. They knew what they were doing was wrong. They knew what they were doing was risking great danger to Mr. Perry, but they did it anyways. In the end, these defendants were more interested in profiting off Mr. Perry than caring for his well-being.
Oh, yeah. And they may talk about it in here. I can't remember if it's in here. But one of them sold him X amount of vials. I think it was the ketamine queen for $55,000. So it
Wow.
wasn't a great amount of vials, but for a doctor to get this drug, it cost $12. $12 a vial.
Wow. So
Yes.
did
So
did he
go
fall
ahead.
back into his addiction?
Well, it looks like he did with the ketamine.
So
Um,
is that a huh? Didn't
yeah,
know
it's a
that that
pretty,
was.
yeah, I mean, it's a drug that they use to help, put you to sleep.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I said earlier, it's kind of sort of along the lines of the propofol that Michael Jackson was taking, but it's not the same drug. But it's
Right.
has kind of like the same effect. Obviously, I don't
Okay.
guess it's as strong. I don't know. This was new to me when I first started looking at this. So, yeah, it was new to me to see about this. But let's look at a little bit more of this.
I'm going to talk about the indictment, the allegations, and the charges in more detail. On October 28, 2023, Mr. Perry was found deceased in his home. An autopsy was conducted following his death. That autopsy showed that he had died due to the acute effects of ketamine. Ketamine is a controlled substance. It has some legitimate uses, but it is also used illegally. It is used by people seeking to disassociate from reality. It can cause serious health effects.
Okay, let me say this first. His regular doctors, the doctors that he went to regularly, had started treating him with this ketamine for anxiety and depression. Okay.
Okay.
So these were his legitimate doctors. When they wouldn't increase his dosages and stuff, that's when he started looking and had found,
Elsewhere.
yeah, he found these other two doctors that were just to profit. They were to profit doctors. We all know about those because they're everywhere. Not as much
Right.
so, as what they used to be. But and then that's when he also hooked up with the ketamine queen
All right.
that also had been selling to other stars in Hollywood too. So yeah.
And
Um,
Moby said it was a '90s party drug called Special K, typically used at raves. And now I remember the Special K part. I remember hearing that. Yeah,
oh
before.
yeah, I've heard about that before too. So
Yep.
wow. Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting because I didn't put that stuff together. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's look at some more.
Serious health problems, including loss of consciousness, including spikes in blood pressure, and including respiratory issues that can deprive the brain of oxygen. For that reason, it is a drug that must be administered by medical professionals, and the patient must be monitored closely. That did not occur here. This investigation focused on who supplied the ketamine to Mr. Perry. As many of you know, Mr. Perry struggled with addiction in the past. On many occasions, he sought help for his addiction issues. The investigation revealed that in the fall of 2023, Mr. Perry fell back into addiction, and these defendants took advantage to profit for themselves.
There you go. There's your answer.
Yeah.
In the fall of 2023, he fell back
Yeah.
into his addiction. And see, I thought he was doing so good. Man, he was such a brilliant actor. Um,
Oh, yeah, I
but
know.
yeah, but now also there were many times during Friends that he was extremely um, had taken too many drugs on while he was filming, and while he could film, um, I do think that there were issues that they had been having. So with with him, but I do remember seeing that, that so if he fell back into the fall of 2023 and he died in October of 20 Yeah, this is 24. Isn't this 24? Yeah.
Yeah.
What is my problem? Oh, swear. So, he hadn't, the fall of 2023, obviously he hadn't been having problems for very long before he passed away. Um, God, it's so sad. Mm.
For themselves. The two lead defendants in this case are defendants Salvador Plasencia and defendant Jasmine Sanya. First, I'll talk about defendant Plasencia. Defendant Plasencia was a medical doctor. He worked with another medical doctor, defendant Mark Chavez, to obtain ketamine. He then worked with Mr. Perry's live-in assistant, defendant Kenneth Iwamasa, to distribute that ketamine to Mr. Perry. Over 2 months, from September to October 2023, they distributed approximately 20 vials of ketamine to Mr. Perry in exchange for $55,000 in cash.
See?
Wow.
20 vials for $55,000, and I'm sure he'll talk about it here, but they looked at him as an easy mark,
Yeah.
that,
Like Moby said, look, they saw him as disposable for profit. Yeah. That's
yes.
awful.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It is.
so sad.
But, now they're facing the consequences, which,
All these other doctors, that that you go get your drugs from, walk in the door, pay cash, and walk out with,
yeah, yeah, that's true. The
then the
painkiller,
people that need it can't get it,
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I go, and I don't go that often, but I have a pain clinic over in Tupelo that I can go to if need be. But now
Right.
let me tell you this. When I go over there, the first thing they do is do a urine test. And when I say that they check for everything, I mean they check for everything. They check for kratom. They check every known drug, and they also check for nicotine and stuff. Now, you won't get in trouble for nicotine, but then they send it to like this place in New York that charges my insurance $650 to do whatever they do with it. So it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't mind taking the drug test because I'm going to pass all the time, but
Right.
and that goes back to people that need it. It's hard for people to get, the people that really need it, and that's why sometimes people go broke that actually need it, because they have to get it other ways. So it's ridiculous.
Right.
Defendant Plasencia saw this as an opportunity to profit off of Mr. Perry. He wrote in a text message in September 2023, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay." He also stated in text messages that he wanted to be Mr. Perry's sole source of supply. He wrote in a text message that he wanted to be Mr. Perry's, quote, "go-to for drugs." As a doctor, defendant Plasencia knew full well the danger of what he was doing. In fact, on one occasion, he injected Mr. Perry with ketamine, and he saw Mr. Perry freeze up and his blood pressure spike. Despite that, he left additional vials of ketamine for defendant Iwamasa to administer to Mr. Perry. Of course, defendant Iwamasa had no medical training to speak of.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, that's a crappy ass doctor. I mean, for lack of a better word, it's just like what Moby
Right.
said. So, it's so sad. It's horrible.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Defendant Plasencia knew what he was doing was harming Mr. Perry. He had spoken to another patient in mid-October 2023, and he told that patient that Mr. Perry was spiraling out of control with his addiction. Nonetheless, defendant Plasencia continued to offer ketamine to Mr. Perry. Likewise, defendant Sanya knew what she was doing was harming defendants and also Mr. Perry. She took advantage of Mr. Perry by selling large amounts of ketamine to Mr. Perry over a 2-week period in October of 2023. She sold approximately 50 vials of ketamine for approximately $11,000 in cash. She worked with a broker, defendant Eric Fleming, and also the live-in assistant, defendant Iwamasa, to distribute this ketamine. Sonia and the broker, defendant Fleming, saw this as an opportunity to profit off of Mr. Perry. In a text message, the broker wrote, quote, "I wouldn't do it if there wasn't a chance of me making some money for doing this."
Greed. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't say anything else. Anything else about this, and I'm glad I'm gonna assume they're all in jail, but I'm sure they have bond, and if they made that
Right.
much money off of him, then who's to say, that they couldn't make their bond? I'm sure the one that they refer to as the ketamine queen could, because I saw on a news report today they were looking at her social medias, and
Hmm.
she was a very well-to-do and very affluent in the Hollywood community, and I mean, she was living her life large. Okay, so and it was making money off the backs of people that were addicted to this drug. So, mm, so sad. Yeah,
Wow.
Moby, he did have a crappy ass
Defendant Sonia
assistant.
sold the batch of ketamine that resulted in Mr. Perry's death on October 28th. Officers later searched defendant Sonia's home. During that search, they found what amounted to a drug-selling emporium. They found 80 vials of ketamine, thousands of pills containing methamphetamine, cocaine, bottles of Xanax and other illegally obtained prescription drugs, and drug-selling paraphernalia, including scales and ledgers. As I mentioned, the defendants in this case knew what they were doing was wrong. When they'd refer to the ketamine, they used coded language. They refer to it using terms such as, quote, Dr. Pepper, or, quote, bots, or, quote, cans. Also, defendants Placentia and Chavez, as medical doctors, knew full well this was not the proper way to administer ketamine, and they even talked about that in their exchanges. And defendant Sonia also knew that she was doing something that caused great risk to Mr. Perry. In fact, during this investigation, we learned that several years before, in 2019, defendant Sonia had sold ketamine to another customer. That person died the same day. And a family member of that person sent a message to defendant Sonia telling her the cause of death was ketamine. Nonetheless, defendant Sonia continued selling drugs, including the ketamine.
Okay, so obviously, this defendant Sonia is the one that they referred to as the ketamine queen. She had no regard for life. She
Right.
only
Right.
cared about living her life the best way that she could. But anyway, I'm gonna quit sharing this. It goes on and on and on about um, all the problems and stuff um, that he was facing, and the charges that have all been uh, brought up against them. So
Yeah, I
I
never
just
knew anything about this till you told me about it yesterday or the
yeah,
day before. Yeah.
yes. So Moby, you're probably
Wow.
right. They'll probably get a slap on the wrist. Yeah, because they have money, and we all know that money walks or money talks and BS walks. So,
Right.
you know, who's to say that whatever judge or whatever that, they'll probably have to pay hefty fines and stuff. They'll probably not see any jail time. They'll probably lay dormant for a while, and then they're going to go right back to what they were doing, because if she had that many drugs in her home that she had obtained, however, she still has her sources and all, and she's not going to give those up. So but
No.
anyway, I was just like I said earlier, I did not know that they were looking in that there were going to be any criminal charges. Yes, Moby. Yes, you're exactly right. The cartels. So, um, I, I'm just wondering, and we're going to talk about this later, but I'm just wondering if, and I'll ask you all this, do y'all think that with the border problems that we're having right now, and do you think there has been more an influx of drugs into our country than say what there was 6 years ago? Okay, I know that
Mm,
you know, like, do you remember 6 years ago hearing anything about fentanyl?
no, not really.
Yeah, so um, and that's a horrible, horrible drug. You do
Yeah.
believe that, Moby? Yeah. Um, and we're going to get into talking the politics stuff in a little bit. I'm just, I'm just so, I'm so. Is anybody scared right now? Are you scared? Do you feel like, um, with everything that's going on in our country right now, and in other countries, like all the fighting and stuff that's going on, like in Gaza and all the stuff that all the protests and all this stuff. There's going to be a huge one. I mean, a huge one at the DNC um, this week. Are you scared? Do you feel like we have good leadership right now,
Oh
or
no,
do you feel like it's just kind of like the blind leading the blind?
I don't
Do
think
you
we have
feel
good leadership
no?
at
Do you
all.
feel? I don't think we have any at the moment. I think that Harris and Walls are worried about the campaign, which is understandable.
Yeah,
She's campaigning to be president, but she's vice president right now, and we obviously, Biden has medical issues, and I just don't feel like we have any leadership right now. I feel like we are wide open to attacks, and I'm genuinely scared. Yes,
yeah.
Moby. Um, and do you? Because I've seen a lot of this on my Facebook. I haven't seen a lot of this on my Twitter feed, but a lot on my Facebook. You know, uh, people going back and looking at the Bible and saying that this was exactly what's written in the Bible. Um, and that can go either way. I mean, I don't know. I'm genuinely scared right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I am
uh,
too.
yeah. Moby says her anxiety is through the roof, and that her daughter says we're doomed. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I'm probably going to give myself away right here. Um, my political beliefs, but I mean, yes, Moby. Yes, we're being run by others. Yes. Um, I watch a lot of
I
Fox
know.
News, and don't anybody hate me for that, okay? I mean, we can have different political views and be friends still, right? Hi, hubby. It was that was your hubby, wasn't it? Not your son.
My the dog was almost laid on my laptop.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Um. So, um, I watch a lot of Fox News, right? So,
Mhm.
and I realized that sometimes I need to go look at CNN to see. Yes, Moby. I need to go look at CNN or NBC, ABC, whatever. But my main source for news has always been Fox. I am, yes, Grace. I am. Grace says she's conservative too. Yeah, me too. Um, it's how I was raised, right? So, um, and it's just what's in my bones, I guess. But um, I do think I do think that that debates are necessary between Harris and Trump, and then Walls and Vance, um, because I think once we hear, what each side has to say, then you're going to be able to make a more informed opinion. I heard it said today that Harris is more about uniting the country and her um, health insurance, wanting everybody insured and all this. And then there was one more thing I can't remember. And then Trump, he's about the border security, he's about the economy, and stuff like that. I will say one thing that I saw. Trump uses that Truth Social a lot. He has been posted on Twitter again, but his main source of getting his messages out when he's not um, speaking in public is Truth Social. And he made a post yesterday about, of course, it was digging um, at Vice President Harris, but at the end of it, he said, and she is a B star, 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 star,
Oh, wow.
exclamation point. So I don't think we need to go, um, yes, Moby, I agree. RFK Jr. should be allowed to debate too. Yes. Um, I don't think that we need to resort, to that, to calling somebody a bitch or a bastard or whatever, or whatever. I think those names are need to be left out of this because we are talking politics, but it happens all the time on both sides. So, Moby, if you're sick of the two-party system, what would you like to see? Um, because that's interesting. I mean, we've been a two-party system for a long time, right? Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, we have.
what I mean, what would you like to see? Um, if you want to come up and tell me what you want to see, I can drop you the link, or you can just write it in the chat. Just let me know. Um, we are going to. I've got a video to show y'all in a little bit about the riots and the chaos that's expected in Chicago with the DNC coming up. Of course, it's the pro-Palestinian protest. I think that's going to be protesting. And then the other side is also going to be meeting them. So it's probably going to be pretty nasty. They've even called in cops from surrounding states and stuff to come help them. Now, of course, the Secret Service and all that has stepped up security for the DNC, but businesses in downtown Chicago are boarding up their
Wow.
businesses out of fear of looting and stuff like that from criminals in the area because the manpower is going to be down for protecting, those businesses and stuff that's just not there at the DNC. So, it's scary. Like they're scared, in like 1963, there was some really big riots at the DNC. So,
Mm.
um, yeah. Moby said we need more independents allowed the same rights. They put them on the ballot, but they never allowed them equal access to debates. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I don't understand why they don't allow them to debate. I think they need to put them all up there on stage. Uh, um, RFK Jr., I think he needs to be up there. I think Trump needs to be up there. And I think that Harris needs to be up there, all three of them. And I think, don't I remember like in prior debates and stuff, years ago, when there would be more than just the two parties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So I
remember
seem to
that.
remember that, and I don't know why it's changed. Um, I mean, I really don't know why it changed and why we don't allow that. Um, but it's obvious, right now that this campaign and the presidential election is going to be between these two. I've seen probably since I over the past, I'll say, week. I think I saw RFK Jr. have a segment one time on any of the um, any of the um, news stations. So,
Huh.
and that's sad. Um, I think they have both picked the wrong running mate, Moby. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that Walls is. I mean, he had passed a bill just here recently to put tampons in boys' bathrooms. Now, I can remember. I was thinking about this earlier. I can remember one time in my entire life that I used a machine to get a tampon out of, and it was at school one time when I didn't have any in my locker. So, um, that was the one time I ever used one. But I, I'm not against. I'm not against the LBGTQ plus community or anything like that. But I do take issue with um, people that are going through the transformation or that just identify. Say if I identified as a man, cut my hair short, wore my hat sideways or whatever. I just identified as a man that I am going to go into the men's bathroom. I don't agree with that. And that's just me, don't anybody hate me for that, but I meant that's just how I feel about it. I don't think it's right. I don't think that tampons need to be in boys' bathrooms.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
don't
think about
either.
that? Yeah. I mean it's ridiculous. It is. We're
Yeah.
gonna put Are we gonna put jock straps in girls' bathrooms or, whatever?
Exactly.
I mean it's stupid. Um But I think one of the biggest things that I'm worried about as far as the DN and I'm gonna watch the DNC. I watched the RNC. I'm gonna watch the DNC. Um, but what has got me extremely worried about this, and I hope it's not just the media trying to scare us even more when they're talking about these protests and stuff that they're expecting, because a lot of the times they do like to fearmonger. Um, I agree with you, Moby. I agree. Um, I'm worried about the DNC. I'm worried about the city of Chicago. I'm worried about business owners and just people that live there. Right. Uh, when high school girls are attacked by boys in a bathroom because they identify, yeah, H to the no. Yeah, yes, Moby. That's my biggest fear. I've got a 15-year-old granddaughter that's a freshman in high school, and I mean I live in a small town, compared to Chicago or anything like that. Um, but if that were, I worry about her.
Oh
I
yeah,
worry
absolutely.
about what's going to happen. I worry about my grandkids all the time and what they're facing as they. Oh my gosh, Moby. Oh, oh. He said that it happened to her granddaughter. I guess her granddaughter was attacked by a boy in the bathroom. I don't think I would. I think if that happened to my granddaughter, I would not be allowed to be on the internet right now because I would be locked up for murder.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she kicked ass and left the school. My granddaughter probably would too. She's a pretty tough little cookie. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe these are some of the problems why a lot more people are homeschooling now. There's a lot of different reasons. Like my granddaughter was homeschooled for I guess 3 or 4 years. Um, so and maybe I don't know. Maybe that's what needs to be done more. I don't know. I don't know what the answers are, and I really feel bad for our grandchildren and stuff as they grow up and step out into what's going on in today's world because they don't pay attention to this stuff. They have no idea what's going on unless we talk to them. So I've got another video pulled up. It's about the riots and chaos that are expected in Chicago. So I'm going to share this screen and then we'll talk about it when it's over. Hold on just a second. Let me know when you can see it, Moby. It's black right now, so. Or Sue, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say.
There it goes. I can see it. It's
Okay.
not. It's a
Yeah.
black screen, but
Yeah, it is. Because
okay.
I skipped the commercials. Hopefully another one won't come up.
All right.
The Democratic National Convention starts Monday in Chicago. Big problems could erupt outside the convention hall. Tens of thousands of protesters are expected to demonstrate against Israel's war on Hamas. And local officials fear the city is not ready to control crowds. CBN's Paul Petit reports from Chicago.
Much of the world watched July 24th as anti-Israel demonstrators in Washington, D.C. raised a Palestinian flag and defaced monuments in protest to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's address to Congress. The next global stage for protesters is in Chicago, host to the Democratic National Convention.
Our police are still handcuffed.
Alderman Raymond Lopez and some fellow city council members don't like that prospect and are not confident it will be stopped.
All I have to think about is the 2020 riots that happened after the murder of George Floyd. Our police department was caught completely off guard by the organized chaos that descended upon our city.
Chicago residents remember those riots.
They let them destroy the buildings. They let them steal whatever they wanted.
I'm scared to death, to tell you the truth. I'm very concerned, very worried. I believe there's going to be professional anarchists coming into the city that are here to do nothing more than wreak havoc upon us.
Most of the convention activity will take place inside the security perimeter of Chicago's United Center.
When there's a council member in Chicago that says he's scared to death, then we know, that we should be scared to death for what's going to happen in Chicago. So let's go on.
Their Vice President Kamala Harris will rally delegates in person since a virtual roll call vote earlier this month made her the Democratic presidential nominee.
Democrats have gone part of the way down this path with Hillary Clinton before, but this has a very different feel to it. The circumstances are different. I think there's a bit of whiplash. The Democrats went from almost the depths of despair with Biden at the top, even though they liked him, to now such a high energy and optimism about what is possible.
Gonzalez says the key is moving from a focus on Biden's age and ability to concentrating on the opposition.
Now that Harris is at the top of the ticket, it doesn't guarantee that Democrats are going to win, but it allows for a more normal conversation or exchange of ideas in a campaign about who might be too liberal or too conservative or too MAGA or it's just more normal than what it was when President Biden was running for re-election.
The convention will also aim to unite Democrats and adopt their liberal party platform.
Access to abortion is going to continue to be a main talking point. Beyond the differences on policy and Vice President Harris having to defend some of what the administration has done, Democrats are going to make the change argument. And so we're going to see Democrats really embrace the contrast between an aging white guy and a woman of color.
Throughout the 4-day convention, Illinois Governor J.B.
Okay. Hi, Miss Cassandra. It's so good to see you. I'll have to go back and check these comments in a minute. Let's get through this, and then we'll talk about it.
Pritzker, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and the Secret Service, now under new leadership, say they'll do what's necessary to keep the city safe, especially in the wake of the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump.
Let me state this unequivocally. Chicago was ready. We were born ready.
Despite all the planning and training, the Chicago Police Department is still 1,100 officers short of being fully staffed. And with more than 50 organizations planning to protest here during the Democratic National Convention, many feel it's going to be more than they can handle.
They are going to push the envelope. They are going to push it to the limit. If there's a line drawn here, they're going to certainly want to cross that line.
God has love for the whole world.
Chicago for Jesus is ready for the convention as well. The street ministry is known for praying outside abortion clinics and ministering at Muslim rallies.
We believe that the message of Christ and its beauty actually shines greatest in the darkness. So we're going to go that day to preach the gospel and make disciples of those lost and dying protesters.
Jesus wants to change us. He wants to redeem us. He wants to make.
Okay. Do you think that any of these protesters are even going to pay them any attention? You have to give them props for going out there and trying, but they're not. These protesters are not going to pay attention to them. So yeah.
To make us new.
While hope is for a peaceful event here, some city officials feel today's atmosphere is eerily similar to Chicago's 1968 Democratic National Convention. Back then, anti-Vietnam protesters clashed with police. And if July's Capitol protest is any indication of things to possibly come to Chicago, the Windy City could be holding its breath.
Because we know we have outside agitators who want to descend on the city, because we have elected officials like some of my colleagues who are encouraging organizations to make it greater than 1968, and because you have a mayor who supports protesters in all their forms, the opportunity for chaos is just exponentially worse than I think it was in 1968.
In Chicago, Paul Petit, CBN News.
Thank you, Paul. Leaders of 4 Muslim groups predict as many as, listen to this, 100,000 protesters will show up at the DNC.
Okay. That's a lot of protesters, right? And to hear that Chicago is down 11,000 officers. Whew.
Wow.
And then I also heard today that, oh God, where was my mind? Oh, that these cops, these police officers, I don't know why I say cops, these officers that they're bringing in from these other states are going to have a 12-hour training class, 12-hour training class on crowd control. 12 hours.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, 12 hours. Can you see that? I mean, 12 hours. I just, like I said, I fear for next week, and I think that we as Americans should all worry about what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
So it's next week?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it starts Monday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Moby. She was not elected. She was placed. Yeah. It was out. That was so weird. Like I said, everything that's going on is just weird right now, It's so weird. Are you expecting something from Amazon? Speaking of Amazon, have you seen the fold up houses that Amazon is selling that comes in a box? And they're called fold out houses. Y'all got to go to Amazon and search that and look at these houses. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Like you can get a 3-bedroom that has a kitchen, a living area, and a full bathroom for like $45,000.
So a 30-foot house with luxury design with 3 bedrooms, 1 living room, 1 fully equipped bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And a kitchen.
Yeah.
and it's $24,000
Can you believe that?
for a 30-foot house.
And it
Oh my
comes,
God.
well, in a box delivered to you on a semi. And then they're supposed to send somebody else or hire somebody in your area that knows how to fix these. So
Wow.
is that not crazy?
That is weird.
Yeah. So I heard about that and I was like, what the crap? My daughter was actually talking about it. So I thought it was crazy. I mean,
Wow.
maybe that'll take care of part of the housing problems that people are having. Which you still got to have credit and be able to buy those things. But I
And
mean,
you have to have the land.
yeah, you'd have to have somewhere to put it.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
I mean, if you go and you buy a 3-bedroom kitchen, living room, bathroom, home, or mobile home, even for that matter, you're not going to get that for less than, say, I know mobile homes like that now cost way up there, way up there. So, that's
Right.
really crazy. Um,
That's nuts.
yeah. So I shared in the description an article that I found about these protests, and um, they're fighting for the best route that they can have. They have their park permit, but the city has refused to allow us to use porta potties, a stage, and a sound system. Do you think they're actually going to listen to that?
Mm-mm.
No. They're going to do exactly what they want to do because I mean it's all over the news that we that I mean I just showed y'all it's all over the news that Chicago is probably not going to be ready for what is fixing to happen. You know, and I'm just afraid that that we're going to see looting and fires and all that kind of stuff again. You know, you expect the best, but prepare for the worst, right? So
Right.
I think, hey, Malkin Media, I'm glad you're here. Package is in the basement. Malkin Media, I loved your follow up. Um, your shopping um video that you did. That was really that was so funny. You were so good. You're just so good. I love it. Did you see that, Sue? Uh,
No, I haven't yet.
okay. So he's done 2, or they've done 2 on Bullhorn Betty. So
Right.
you need to watch the first one if you haven't seen it, and
I
then
did watch the first one.
okay. So watch the follow up.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
so
I haven't
funny.
yet.
Oh my god, it's so good. Um,
Huh.
I am
The first one was good. Yeah.
right. This says a fraction of the number of police who came from out of state to protect the convention delegates and guests. So I'm telling you, because if you get a mad crowd, I mean, look what happened when Netanyahu was in Washington. They couldn't even prevent all of that from happening that was going on over there, right?
Right.
That went on when he was there. So this is supposed to be bigger than what that was, with more of these protesters. And then you've got, the other side, and then you've got this group of um, um, Christians that are going to be out there doing their stuff, and it's just going to be. I wouldn't be within 200 miles of Chicago right now, and I just wouldn't. I think that they are going to shut a city down.
Yeah.
So, have you checked your blood pressure again yet?
No.
Mm.
No, it was 151. The last one I did.
Oh, well, it's come down a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was
S
161.
yeah.
So.
Um, I think you need some chocolate or some ice cream.
Yeah.
I think
Chocolate.
that'll bring.
Yeah. Chocolate makes everything better.
Yeah, chocolate,
Mine
ice
is
cream, and chocolate.
mine's the ice cream. Ice cream makes everything better.
Yes. My favorite's mint chocolate chip. So, what's everybody's? This has been a kind of heavy conversation for a minute. What is everybody's favorite flavor of ice cream? Mine is mint chocolate chip. What's yours,
That's
Sue?
my son's. Mine's Rocky Road.
Oh, that's good too.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good too. Why does that thing move like that?
My son's
Um,
is mint chocolate chip.
yes, man. If you bring home a half a gallon of that, I can eat
Hmm.
that in one sitting, just about it. Yay, Miss Cassandra. And Moby's is chocolate peanut butter swirl. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, chocolate and peanut butter and ice cream is good too. Yes.
Yeah.
I think mint chocolate chip though, just when especially if it's froze hard, and you
Hmm.
get them little pieces of the little chocolate chips in there. Oh my God, it's just perfection.
Hmm.
But
Well,
my favorite Girl Scout cookie is
it's
the
the mint.
the Thin Mints.
Hmm.
Blue Moon. Blue Moon ice cream? I
My
don't what
son
is
always makes milkshakes
Oh, not
with.
me.
Yeah, he makes milkshakes with malt in them.
If I get a milkshake, it comes from Sonic. I think that the Sonic has the best milkshakes
I
ever.
think I've had one from there since. It's
Oh,
funny because we it took forever for even one Sonic to come into Washington, where
really?
my area. Yeah.
Wow.
And then we had two when I left. But we had never went to Sonic ever.
Really? Oh my gosh.
They're all over down here.
Yeah, of course they are. I
Yep,
think
they're all
maybe it's
over.
kind of like I mean, I don't know. I don't know that they're everywhere. Just like Jack's. Jack's Family Restaurant, I think, is just in Alabama, and
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
they have the best bacon cheeseburger, and their fries are the crinkle cut fries, and they sprinkle them with a cheese dust type thing. Oh, they're so good.
Mm. Yeah,
Uh,
we went out to dinner last night to a new place that we haven't been yet, so it was good.
really,
We had ribs, yeah.
yummy. Um,
Hmm.
Moby said pralines and cream is second, or strawberry cheesecake. I love the strawberry cheesecakes on a stick, the popsicle.
Yeah.
I love those. And Cassandra says she has to share with the gremlin too. It's his favorite. Who you don't have a Sonic, Moby? Oh dear God. Really? Miss Cassandra says the Sonic's not close enough to her either. Okay. My Sonic here in town is like a mile and a half from the house.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Yeah, same
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and my favorite milkshake from there is banana because, the Sonic puts real stuff in their milkshakes. So they've
Mm.
got real bananas in them. If you get strawberry, it's got real strawberries. And then they've got all the other flavors like um, chocolate and peanut butter and just all that stuff. Um, well, I don't know, Cassandra. If you wanted a good milkshake, I would drive that 15 minutes. But that's just me because I just love their milkshakes and I love their breakfast sandwiches too. But they're so greasy, but maybe that's why I like them. But anyway, I just you don't have a Sonic there either, Purple or Shield says. When we're in the US, I insist I get the nerd Slurpee. Yep. You call it slushy, I think. Yeah, we do call it the slushy. Paige's ice cream in the summer. After that, it's Dairy Queen. Now, I don't have access to a Dairy Queen anymore unless I drive 45 miles. But I
Oh.
used to love their the thing that had the ice cream, and then it had the peanuts on the top of it, and then they dipped
The
it
peanut
in it.
butter, the peanut butter
Yes.
parfait. Yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah, that was my favorite from
that
there.
used to be my favorite too.
Yeah. Yeah. What I wouldn't give for one of those right now, but the last time that I had one of those was when I was out in Texas, pulling mobile homes. So that's been several years back. But they're so small now. It's just like everything else. Or either when I was a kid, they just seemed ginormous. But I mean,
Right.
they really are small now and so expensive, but it doesn't matter. So Miss Cassandra has got the DQ down the street. So
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's
do
kind
we.
of like it's kind of like give and take. Oh, you got everything, Sue.
Yeah, we got Dairy Queen. We have
Oh,
Chick-fil-A,
oh.
um,
Hmm.
Sonic. They're all just like really close. All right, McDonald's. They're just all in this.
Now we've got all of those. We've got Taco Bell, McDonald's,
Yeah, all
Pizza
right
Hut.
on this
Yeah,
one road. They're just
yeah.
all right there. Yeah.
But I love Chick-fil-A too. I love their chicken biscuits with lots of pickles on them, and the sandwich too.
I've only been to Chick-fil-A once.
Oh gosh, I love Chick-fil-A. Oh, Grace Case has it all too. Hi, Claire. Good to see you. I'm so happy to see you. I've got to go finish watching your stream. I started it watching it today, the one that you did last night. So, yeah, I've got to go finish watching that. I've been so tired today. So if I sit down, I pass out. Anyway. So, okay, is everybody ready for football season? If you're not, you better be.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's right here upon us. I know you are, girl. I know you are too.
We were. I watched till halftime, just because it's preseasons are kind of hard to get into.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I watched till actually it was halftime when just halftime when you said going live in
yeah.
30 minutes. So
Right.
um, we were we lost.
Oh no.
Yep, we lost by 1.
Oh God, that makes
Yep,
it even worse, doesn't it?
yep,
You
15
lose.
16.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
we were playing Tennessee Titans in Tennessee.
Oh
The
darn, I hate
Seahawks were
that.
that close to me. Yeah. So then we play the Browns next week for the last preseason game at home in Washington. So we play the Browns.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Grace Case, I am a diehard Alabama fan. Die-hard Alabama fan. Like, that's bred in me from birth as well. When my daddy was right before he passed away, um, and he was in ICU, and he was had a he was on a ventilator, and he was not even conscious. But we took a radio in there. They allowed us to take a radio in there and turn on the Alabama game, and we had it sitting right at his ear. Um, so yeah, that those Eagles can.
So I'm at my college is the Huskies,
Yeah, yeah.
UW in Washington, of course.
Uh-huh.
And my dad was a big Husky fan. And the year I was born, so I was born on New Year's Day, and they used to play the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. And the Huskies were in the Rose Bowl. And
Oh
he
wow.
told my mom, "You can have the baby today, but not till after the game."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I waited. I did. I waited till 11:42 p.m. on the first to be born. I
Oh
almost
my
missed the
God.
first. Yeah. So
Oh, that's funny. Okay, wait just a minute. I saw a comment. Um, okay, Claire, you're going to have to explain a little bit better. She says, YouTube took it down for Reagan's stupid performance. It just got back up a while ago. Um, so you're gonna have to explain. I don't know. Um, man. Um, whose performance are we talking about? Like, I don't know who Reagan is that you're talking about. I hope it's not who I'm thinking. Um. Oh, okay.
Breakdancer.
Okay. Um, that's crazy that they took it down. Jeez. Oh, in the Olympics. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get real far into it. So the alleged breakdancer.
Wow.
Can y'all actually believe that breakdancing is now a sport in the Olympics?
I know. That's
I
just
mean,
crazy.
yeah, breakdancing is old, isn't it?
I think they should have cornhole as Olympic sport.
Corn.
It's a fun game.
It is a fun game, but
they're gonna put breakdancing in there.
I
Come
can
on.
put cornhole.
That's right.
I just
I think
don't
that's more.
think that breakdancing is too
I think that's
it's
more.
too
That's more popular than dancing. Breakdancing.
is it? I thought
Cornhole.
breakdancing was like no. I was talking about breakdancing.
Oh
I think
yeah. That's,
I think that breakdancing is kind of like 90s, isn't it? Or am I just
yeah. No, you're right.
wow? So, Claire,
It
did
is.
they take anything out of your video, or did you have to edit anything out of it? I'm going to be disappointed now. I have to go look at. I mean, I'm going to have to admit I didn't follow a lot of the Olympics. I did. Um, the boxing controversy that they
Oh
had.
yeah.
That was nuts. I mean, who does that? I don't care if you're like we'll say we'll use oh God, Kardashian's ex-husband, Bruce Jenner. Okay, he's obviously a full-fledged woman now, right? He's had everything, right? He's had all the surgeries and all that stuff. Um, I'm going to Miss Cassandra. Oh gosh, that's 48 seconds of her lead butt attempting to break dance. Where was I going? Oh, Kardashian. So, do you think it would be fair if you were competing against him today as a woman? He's a woman. You're a woman. And if you could do what he was affluent in track and field, is that fair to put him up against a a woman at birth? Is that fair? Do you think it's fair, Sue? Oh, she's muted. Um, so do y'all think that's fair to put a woman at birth up against like Caitlyn? Yes. So sorry, Caitlyn has
Is it
not had
funded?
bottom surgery, and he is. Oh, really, Moby?
It's not. It's
I
not
didn't know
thundering.
that. So would it be okay, to put? It's not okay to put a woman up against him, right? So I don't know. That's just like the boxer, that girl boxer got beaten by that dude and with one punch in 45 seconds that said he was a woman. So sorry, not
Yeah.
sorry. It was not sexist to say that woman was horrible. I'm so excited now. I just got right into it. I just got into it and then started dozing off. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to let this play and may go to sleep, so I got up and did something. Um, but anyway, I think we've had oh, Claire, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? I know everybody else is now. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? There is the science, and that is where the real decision lies. Anything else is personal opinion, to be honest, not a topic, unless you have all the information. Well, yeah, that's true, Claire. That's very true. Um, but I don't need all the information to ask you what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. Me and this Cassandra are on the same page. All of them, I could live on ice cream. I could too.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I didn't have any ice cream. You don't think we have all the information, Grace? I didn't have any ice cream for dessert today, so I had a chocolate pudding cup, and it was sugar free, and it was good. So, um, yeah. Anyway, I am very happy that everybody has been here tonight and joined us tonight. Are you back? Did I see that?
It was Shill. Shill said be right back, and then she came back.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, that was
So
a
I
long time
haven't.
ago. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't got to go. Have fun now. I want ice cream for dinner. Me too.
That's
I want
funny.
ice cream for a late night snack, but
Yeah.
it's not good. Bye, Claire. I'm glad you stopped by. Um, so I think we're going to wrap this up. I think we've had a pretty good discussion. Um, yes, now we all want ice cream, Moby, and I don't have any, dead gummit. And I bet I can't talk anybody into running to the store either, because it's 9:13 here. Um, um, I'm so happy that everybody joined us tonight. I think we've had a good discussion. I like these little little groups and everybody getting to comment and us being able to um interact with everybody. What about you, Sue?
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I want to say too that I'll miss you guys. I'm going to be gone for the next couple of weeks,
Yeah.
basically.
Mhm.
I have something to do Wednesday, and then Saturday is up in the air because she's either going to be here Saturday or Sunday, so I don't know. So I'll let you
Yeah.
know. And then I have a friend is coming from back home here for a week and a half, so I won't be around.
You are going to be here Monday though, correct?
No, no. Oh
You
yeah, oh yeah. Monday I am. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, who wants to help me? Who wants to be my guest co-host on Wednesday night for game night?
Thanks,
Because
Moby.
um I'm going to need a guest co-host. Um so think about it. What about you, Grace Case? You do game nights on Wednesday. On Wednesday night is when I'm gonna do game night. So, um, y'all just think about it, and you can let me know on Twitter or whatever if anybody'd be interested in guest co-hosting with me, trying to fill the shoes of the incredible Sue.
You're funny. Thank you, though.
No, I really do
Yeah.
appreciate you 100%. So,
Yeah.
I love our little group that we have
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely.
I love everybody that comes to the streams. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And our wonderful moderators and all of listen to me, all of our people that come and help us and support the channel. I appreciate you all. So I guess with that, we're going to wrap it up. And I'll say good night to everybody so I can go back to bed and Sue can get her blood pressure under control.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. You let me know
Alrighty.
when you check
I
it
will.
again, okay?
I
All
will.
right.
Alrighty.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, y'all.